I would say very fortunately for haypro, we are in cross-map positions up in the Northlands. We have losira from the team Incredible Miracle coming out all the way from Korea. And in the south position, we have Liquid haypro from Team Liquid also coming out all the way from Korea. Both these players train out there as full-time professionals. ZvZ is something that they wake up and they do after they've had breakfast.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned many times, it's one of those weird matchups. It can be incredibly delicate, incredibly fragile. And so, you know what? Did he do it again? He did.
I'm very interested in this kind of funky Overlord drone timing.
Yeah, well, it seems to work out. So, like, the third larva hits, and he has enough for the 3 right off the bat. So I can't really see how it differs. I mean, if you watch there it is, 1, 2, 3. Whereas that normally you're making the 2, and then the third one comes. So I don't know.
I don't know. Well, either way, losira seems to know something that no one else in the whole wide world does. But now that we've made the forums aware, there will no doubt be threads aplenty. But it's still important that you go find that amazing Baneling GIF of Moon's Burrow detonated Banelings.
Yeah, we watched that earlier.
Watched that on Reddit.
Thanks to Reddit. Reddit StarCrafter posted that just so that everyone could be reminded. And, yeah, so we saw haypro actually open with an expansion. It looks like he's going to do the exact same thing again. And, of course, he'll be even happier to know that with cross positions, that will be relatively safe. However, see the same thing coming out by losira, almost identical timings. We do have losira just 1 drone ahead, and he's also going to be putting down his gas before pool, while we have haypro putting his pool down before his gas.
losira, this is a great play if you want to do some sort of early Zergling pressure. It can be very, very potent when your opponent does not really expect it at this speed. And, I think that's really one of the reasons that haypro lost the last game as well. You saw a fast expansion from losira, and then a bunch of speed Zerglings came in a few seconds later with Baneling reinforcements, and that can catch almost any Zerg off guard. We do see these Overlords now swinging forward for haypro. They're almost in a good enough position to just get some spotting at the front, but you've got to be careful with this first Overlord, because if you do spot this hatchery, you'll spot it right when it just finishes, which is also the time that a queen could have just marched out to kill it.
Well, right now, just taking a look at what we've got. I mean, they're almost exactly on top of the exact same build right now, these two guys. And also notice the Overlord placement, of course, in ZvZ. You can be a lot more, you can just do whatever you want with your Overlords, at least in the early game there. Not really be worrying too much about any units taking them out. You just got to watch out for those queens. A few Zerglings are out so far for haypro, and I believe a couple coming out, only 2 coming out for losira right now, as he's just really trying to drone up. He is just 1 drone ahead of his opponent, and there's those first lings going out, and likely take a tower or get some vision, maybe even poke in here and see what is going on at the front. And now the Roach Warren going down for haypro.
haypro seems to really like having any sort of Roach-focused opening, and wow, we're actually seeing the Baneling nest go down from losira. Wants to really ramp up that aggression. We see losira also throwing down a Spine Crawler, well aware that those counterattacks were a huge concern in the first game. But nothing like that coming out of haypro, instead favoring building drones, only having a couple of Zerglings for defense. He is saving up a good amount of minerals and gas to churn out some Roaches right when that Warren finishes, and also getting a very early Evo chamber for a +1.
And I like how he's using those lings to block that ramp. As soon as he sees those lings move out, he's actually going to bring another ling in here to try to get inside and see what he can see. And his speed hits at the perfect time. It's going to allow him to see that Evo chamber, see the Roach Warren. And are we going to see some sort of a +1 Roach advantage here from haypro? And it looks like the answer is yes. He immediately starts +1, gets out those 4 Roaches. In the meantime, losira has responded with his own Evo chamber, but he does not have a Roach Warren down.
This is a pretty cool timing that you can hit, where you get an upgrade a little earlier than your opponent sometimes. And even though you have no Roaches, when you do get them in the mid-game, they're a little bit stronger. But as we see, haypro is still ahead in that +1 timing. Does manage to pick off a drone and might even be able to make an incredible escape out. But either way, haypro a little bit lost with that 1 Zergling. And it looks like very nice timing there by haypro, spotting that counterattack.
And, I like the respect from Losira here. I mean, analyzing that replay, he obviously, that one ling actually causing all sorts of chaos there inside the base. But he obviously looked at that replay and saw, okay, the +1, and then he saw exactly what haypro was doing. So he went ahead and researched his +1. It's a little bit slower, but it will kind of negate it. And a few more lings coming out from Losira than roaches right now, as his roach run is just finished up.
There are very few drones on the field right now for haypro. We see that there's 27 drones versus 44 from Losira. More Zerglings now running in for haypro, and if haypro is being very, very careful, he's counting the amount of drones that are here and realizing that there really cannot be that much stuff for his opponent. I mean, haypro could honestly just be thinking, man, if I just keep making roaches, I can just box, move, and win.
Yeah, and I mean, it's certainly true. He is bringing a lot of lings being pushed out right now, and this is something I think that has been showing up a lot lately in some of these ZvZ games, where we have a big roach push, and then you come and just start bringing in just a ton of lings, and it does look like we're getting nothing but roaches and lings coming out of haypro right now, and we do see some lings going around the backside, the opposite side of all these roaches going forward, but he may not even care. There are going to be enough lings to be able to deal with that, but he wants those lings for the attack. They help deal with the roaches and anything else coming out. And I mean, Losira does have the banelings nest, but I don't think he has any banelings out on the field at all.
So haypro now just going to wait a couple of seconds. He's now advancing forward. He has +1, but so does Losira. But at this point, we see Losira is sprinting way ahead in food. We see 9 roaches in production. All the Zerglings are starting to run forward for haypro. Can haypro do enough damage at this point? The banelings are now getting morphed in. He can do some huge hits on the Zerglings if those finish off, and there the banelings do pop up, but instead they just get annihilated by those roaches, and haypro is just wreaking havoc at the front of this base. He's rallying up Zerglings, but that drone powering by Losira may have been exactly what he needed to be able to get this lead. We see that in the unit counting station, 91 food for Losira, 63 for haypro. haypro needs to do a lot of damage with this push, but instead Losira is going to come out on top.
Yeah, and I mean, haypro without the economy that his opponent has, it's going to be really, really tough. There's going to be a lot of lings, a few banelings in there, which will make, of course, haypro's lings almost ineffective if he manages to integrate those in. He's going to leave those back a little bit, and as he marches down the other side, here comes some lings into the middle. Oh, baneling does take about half of those lings, but more importantly, what about these roaches and lings that are out near the front? He is backing off. I was a little surprised by that. They didn't go for it.
I think Losira realizes how far ahead he is, so he's just going to try to do anything he can to extend that lead, taking an expansion, likely going to be continuing to get more upgrades at this evolution chamber with this 4th gas geyser up. But right now, Losira is in a very comfortable position. We see that haypro really does not have very much tech at all. Is just going to be building a lot more units at this point in time, now finally starting to re-drone. But as we see Losira with these overlords, look at the vision in the middle of the map that Losira has. Just incredible job of spotting with those overlords.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. I mean, there's a ton. We got roaches from haypro now moving out again, looking 35 harvesters to 51, almost about a 15 difference now. It's up to 44, 51. More roaches are coming out. He's got the defensive banelings. The 3rd is already completed. So Losira will be able to just pump out more units. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing more awesome than the Overlord spread on a ZvZ. They are all over the place. Now, there's a few roaches off to the side here, which are within vision of Losira. So I'm not really sure what he's actually doing with those. He's going to be bringing them around. A few lings coming into the natural. They will quickly back off, and he will also speak in here and see that the 3rd is going down as well.
I think that haypro is going to be really concerned when he sees this creep, realizes the 3rd is coming, and at the same time, there's a huge attack that I heard some groaning and moaning from you, Mr.
It's a big attack, dude.
Especially with all these banelings. These banelings are another way of saying this battle is all about who has the higher roach number. Occasionally a player could overwhelm with Zerglings, but we see it is 30 roaches to 13. If by some miracle haypro can hold this off, he has a small window in which he can end up hitting that third and killing it off. But these counterattacks, a very nice counterattack by haypro, picks off the queen. It's going to do a lot of damage to these drones, but this is just so many roaches from losira. 1-0 roaches in a huge arc, trying to get into a good position, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, Wheat.
Yeah, going back into the corner, they're going to try to hide behind the statue, but unfortunately that will not help them out. Drones are coming out. Drones get a surround on one roach, and they will take it out, but that's a problem because he doesn't have enough drones to surround the, 20-some roaches that are sitting here right now. He's going to go ahead and chase them right into the main base, but more importantly, he will have enough to take down that hatchery. The attack at the third was stopped. The hatchery will go down, and at this point, losira could probably just move in and win, or, like you said, he does have the third up now. Is he going to go ahead and go after that? No, he's immediately going to strike back at the roaches, advancing forward. And, what will losira do next? He's going to continue to engage.
Losira is getting a little bit more ahead after every one of these engagements, and this is an awful spot for haypro to be in. He's barely held off this attack by losira, but in the meantime, losira has been massing up a bunch of drones at this expansion, trying to get it up and operational. Roaches galore all over the map, and we see that he's getting the +2, the burrow, the speed upgrade for roaches, and in the unit counting station we see that haypro is ahead by almost every mark.
He is
behind by almost every mark,
yes, as he does have a higher, no, he doesn't have a higher anything right now. Drone count, nothing. I mean, losing that expansion right there was going to be big, and now the roaches just continue to pour out. 9 roaches being made, some lings coming in behind it. More importantly, once those double upgrades hit there, probably at least going to be waiting for that +2. It's just going to be absolute devastation. Even if he can continue to produce those units, haypro has that lead and can just keep compounding it with the upgrades, with the burrow, with et cetera, et cetera. So even if they do get in a battle like that, using burrows, almost like just using blink stalkers, burrowing those down. We see that micro every once in a while, but it's going to make a huge difference in this one. +2's on the way for haypro, but it's going to be so far behind his opponents that I'm afraid this next push could be it.
Great timing by losira. His +2 might finish a few seconds before this push, but I don't even think he was caring about that. He just wanted himself to get a gold expansion, and he was waiting for that speed for roaches. As we see, there's more roaches streaming down from both sides of the map, and here comes a huge push from losira, and there it is, 10 more seconds until +2 finishes. Impeccably timed push by losira.
Yeah, he's just going to move forward here, and he's dancing around, just waiting for it to finish. More roaches coming in here, and eventually he's going to have to show his hand, and there it is, and it's a good one. Taking down these roaches so quick, barely losing anything, and unfortunately, I'm expecting a GG any moment, and there it is.
losira wins yet another round in his group, defeating TLO, In Control, and haypro. But as we can see, losira definitely feeling it as a little bit of a struggle. Has almost lost twice in a row now.
Yeah, and obviously relieved with that, relieved with the win on that one. Some intense games happening right there, but really got that lead, compounded it, boom, to the bank, over, done, 2-1.
And this really goes to show how those distances are coming into play on Metalopolis. The fact that losira was ahead by almost 20 drones in the mid-game, but way behind in units. And then when haypro made that push against losira, just flooding with just barely enough roaches to stay alive. And once losira had barely stayed alive, it was all in his court.
Yeah, it actually, for a moment there, did seem like losira or haypro might be able to break through. It was really with the spine crawlers going up, and then he had to focus his attention to the spine crawlers, and then those, 4 or 5 banelings that were just morphing over to the corners, even if they didn't hit the extra lings, softening up those roaches, especially because they were in a nice little clump at the bottom of the ramp, definitely paid off. So it was a smart decision by him to just pull those back and get those banelings out, finally using them for something. But as a backup plan, it worked, and he just took it and ran with it.
And with that, that will